Okay, this decluttering minimalism game video has to start with a confession. So I knew this decluttering minimalism game was coming, and I knew that there were certain things I wanted to get decluttered, like the blankets and the sheets from the linen closet. But I also had blankets and sheets in the basement. So I had my husband bring the blankets and sheets from the basement. I brought the ones down from the linen closet. But then as I traveled around the house, I would see areas where I wanted to declutter or things I was getting rid of. And I thought, well, I should just put it all together. So I'm standing here in my husband's office, which is actually a 3-season porch that he uses, and we put a heater in it in the winter. And this has kind of become a dumping ground. You've heard of a Monica closet. It's become a Monica room of things I want to declutter. So I'm going to turn you around. And this is what we're going to tackle in week 2, where I'll one day be doing 8 items, one day 9, one day 10, along with the dates, right? And at the end of the week, it'll be another 77 items decluttered. So now I'm going to turn you around and I'm going to show you what I did to this poor room. This poor room. I'll have the full playlist of creators who are participating in the Minimalism Challenge linked in my description box below so that you can have all the motivation that you need to tackle your own piles. I don't think I could have taken this on by myself. It's not too late to get involved. Just look at the date and declutter the number of items that represents the date. Can you relate to this at all? Somebody help me. Tell me in the comments below if you've ever done this to a room where you let it become a dumping ground of things you maybe wanted to go through or get rid of. Oh, I got a pile like this in the basement, but we won't see that probably till next week. But let's see if I can get 77 items out of here. If not, we'll just keep on going. See these numbers flying across the screen? That's a tally of what I've decluttered each day, and then a total for the week will be on the bottom. I'm starting with the bedding. Some of it came from my linen closet that you saw me clean last week, and some of it came from the basement.
Who had the frog? The Ava. Isn't it cute? Do you want to keep it, Ava, or get rid of it? I don't care. Huh? I don't care. Alright. I can keep him. Oh, no. Oh, you're not allowed to.
Just like that, I have enough items for February 8th. That was super quick and easy. I do try to be respectful. If I'm decluttering something that belongs to somebody, even if I don't think they need it, I will ask them first if they're okay with me getting rid of it. Now, I'm not getting rid of everything. I'm giving you a real look at me decluttering. So this set of sheets here that you see folded in the middle, the gray ones, I am keeping those. We use those when company comes, so they'll be going back up in the linen closet. I also just found a stray sock that must have got wrapped up in a sheet during the laundry process. Our friend in the comment section, Debbie from Debbie's Dilemma, gave us this great idea for when we're decluttering blankets and towels. So this is a smidge better, and what I'm going to do before I tackle these buckets is I'm going to get rid of all of the boxes that I don't want, this blanket that we're keeping, and then we'll go to these buckets. And so far, this is all going to the dump, and then I have one bag going to Goodwill. We've had a lot of projects going on around the house, and we had bought laptops for the kids, and it's amazing how fast those cardboard boxes add up. I kept a couple, and then the rest I'm breaking down to bring to the dump.
Decisions that you made, you have to take another leap. Close your eyes and believe me when I say, don't be afraid. Dive into the water.
I think it was a bit more than 7, but we're counting it as 7, and that completes February 9th, my second day of the week. I feel like I need a mental health update here. This all seems so fun and exciting last week when it was day 1 thing, day 2 things. Now it's week 2, so day 1 is 15 things. And it just goes up from there. And even though I'm kind of doing it as a group, it's just, I feel super overwhelmed because all this stuff I'm decluttering is kind of been coming out of the woodwork where I've been kind of gathering it so I can go through it, and now I'm overwhelmed and I feel like everything is a mess. So if you can relate, I just want you to know you're not alone, and we're just gonna keep going and we're gonna keep plugging away and think about how this is gonna feel on March 1st. So behind me, I have a box and it has like mittens and gloves, and I had everybody take out the ones they wear, and I'll get rid of the rest. If one glove doesn't have a match, it counts as one. If it does have a match, it still counts as one. So that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to count those off right now, and they're going to go to Goodwill unless they don't have a match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Oops. 18. Now I have a group of kids' clothes and a book I don't need, curtain rods, things for donations. So we're going to count them off. 1, 2, 3.
You better grab that tambourine, bring a bass, we might be wicked.
With February 10th and 11th done, I'm starting to get some momentum and feel like, okay, this is actually possible. And not only that, there's much more where that came from. It is a benefit of having a lot of kids in the house when you're trying to do a decluttering challenge. There's always stuff they need to get rid of as well. Remember though, this is all stuff from my husband's office, so they had gone through their clothes earlier, like maybe a month ago, and I've had that sitting in his office ever since. I procrastinated it as long as I could, and now I've got to do those red buckets, and for some reason it felt like a really big job, but when I actually got it out, it probably took me 5 or 10 minutes at the very most. I'm telling you, the challenge is always starting. Once I get started, it just goes and it's not that bad, but starting is the hardest. I'm looking at expiration dates here, and I'm kind of judging whether or not we're ever going to use that stuff, how full things are or empty, how many we have, and I'm just trying to go through it as quickly as possible. All of these red buckets have a category like bug spray, summer items, first aid, that sort of thing. So I'm going as quickly as possible, and then you'll notice that some of these buckets have barely anything in them, and I'm just keeping it that way. I'm not trying to fill them up or reorganize it at this point. I'm just trying to declutter. I've been getting utility shelves for my basement, and those utility shelves are going around the perimeter of the basement, and I'm categorizing and I'm putting things up there, but I really want to get all of it decluttered, and I don't mind if my whole basement is lined with shelving as long as everything is organized and the only thing left are things that we're actually going to use. And you'll notice I was spraying down and cleaning out the buckets that were dirty. I'd like to change my system of organization. I might not be keeping these buckets. I got them several years ago at the dollar store. They have held up beautifully. So even though I might not keep them, I'm still getting them cleaned out, because you know how it is, you can think you're going to get rid of something and then it doesn't actually happen. So just in case, oh, and there's a stray sock, isn't that nice? Just in case, I'm getting them all cleaned out.
But now there's a wind of change. I've never ever felt this way. Longing for you, pick up the phone. Catching a flight, I'm coming home. Back to the place I've always known.
Day 13 is complete, and I have one more day's worth of things to declutter. That's 14 more items. You might have noticed that I'm taking this challenge more of a week at a time and looking at what I need to declutter for the whole week. That worked for the first week, it worked for the second week, it might not work for the third week, but the truth is I don't always have time to declutter every day, so I just try to do as much as I can each day. And so you'll notice every time my shirt changes, that's a different day. So I believe this was 4 days of decluttering by the time you get to the end of this video. I only need 4 more items, so I'm going to get this bucket cleaned up, get these things put away, and then go back to my husband's office and we're going to find 4 more items. Okay, let me show you where we're at. This is a bag that has a couple of sheets. I kept it there in case I add to it of sheets I'm keeping. This is an old box of science stuff that I'll be getting rid of eventually. This is stuff I have to go through. This is stuff I decluttered before the decluttering challenge, so it just needs to go. It's just something it's a comforter that we're throwing away. These will be decluttered. Then this is stuff that belongs to my son that's going over here in that box because he doesn't live here, so I need him to go through his box. So that stuff's going to be easy. That will be up to him. And then some random Christmas decor. We'll see what happens there. I'll probably just get rid of it. It's from the dollar store. It was for a craft. Here I am at the scene of the crime in my husband's office. I'm going to get rid of 3 more things to finish out week 2. Are you ready? Let's do it. I think I'm going for the pillows. These are just done. You know, there's nothing you'd ever put out for a guest. 1, 2, 3. Yay! So week 2 is done. Make sure you're going down in my description box to click on the playlist. I was super motivated by all the 6 ladies that are involved. Very thankful to Michelle for putting this all together. 2 weeks down and 2 more weeks to go. I can't wait to see what all I get rid of when it's all said and done. Now, this is a great precursor to spring cleaning. Decluttering before you spring clean is a great idea because then you don't have so much stuff in your way when you're trying to wipe things down. So in March, we'll be spring cleaning each weekend, and I can't wait for that as well. So remember, as always, that God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.
Back to the place I've always known.